Hey girl, hey, I'm Shauna XO and this is Shauna XO Live. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure you do so, where I talk all things women's flag football. Alright, so women's flag football has kicked off in Atlanta this week, and it is very interesting already. But the biggest thing is, if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, Shauna XO Live on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button to subscribe, and you will get all my updates on women's flag football. Now, 8 Women in Atlanta has a new owner, new look. So it's no longer AWFFL. It is now 5 Star Sports League. So congratulations to them. And if you need any information about 8 Women in football, just go to 5starsportsleague.com. All right, let's get into this week's scores. All right, let's start with Atlanta Storm. Atlanta Storm played the Warriors this weekend. They won that game 9-0. So congratulations to the Storm on that game. And you remember like 2-3 years ago, Atlanta Storm played the Warriors for the championship for D2 division. They were behind and then they came back and won. So it seems like when they play the Warriors, they go hard, you know what I mean? Like they've kind of that's kind of like a rival. They've become a rival more so with the Warriors now versus Code Red. Their second game was against APOC. They didn't win that game 14-0, but look at the score, 14-0. A lot of people would have anticipated that Storm would have gotten beaten by a lot more in history, but from this score, it tells me that yeah, the Storm has gotten a lot better, so kudos to Coach Smooth. He don't get that much credit over there. Hey, Coach Smooth and Coach Donnie. And also, kudos to the ladies, because now when you look at Storm, you're starting to see the same ladies. They're not like switching teams, trying to go to the teams that are better. They're making their own team better, so kudos to them for staying, because look what it does. Hard work pays off. All right, let's talk Atlanta Lady Warriors. So we know they played Storm, and the other opponent this weekend was the Stallions. The Warriors lost that game 6-0. Looking at the Warriors roster, looks like they're back to mainly their original Warrior girls, and you see a lot of returning faces. So it's gonna be interesting to see how their team adjust in the season. Off to a rough start, but it'll be interesting to see how they adjust and move forward. I'm gonna be watching the Warriors. Should be interesting to see. All right. Atlanta Stallions. It's so exciting to see the Stallions back, because I know at one point there was some speculations that the Stallions wouldn't be coming back. So it's really good to see them back, and not just back, but obviously they are a strong squad because they have a lot of ladies. Their second game was against APOC. They lost that game 0-26. But what I think is going to be really interesting for them next week is when we talked about the Storm lost to APOC as well this week, but they only lost to them 14-0. And a lot of people might have thought Storm would lose to them a lot more than that, like 30-something-0 or 20-something-0 like in the past. But that just tells you that Storm they're coming in hot, or category 5. But Storm versus Stallions is going to be a very, very, very interesting game. And I'm just basing that on Storm versus APOC, Stallions versus APOC. So I won't put my wager out there yet. Coach Gates, I know you're going to get me for this, but I actually think Storm and Stallions is going to be a close game, but I think Storm is probably going to pull that one off. That's the game I'm going to be watching really close next week. So next week's game of the week from Shauna XO is Storm versus Stallions. All right. Then again, I'm kind of thinking Stallions probably going to pull it off. It's so close. I don't know. Maybe Stallions will pull it off. I don't know. I take that back. I'm going to stay neutral and watch the game, because it's going to be a good one. Let's talk APOC. And this week they had a really good week. 14-0 Storm, 26-0 Stallions. Next week, we'll see what happens with APOC and see if they can go undefeated again this season. So we'll just watch APOC and see what happens. Atlanta Lady Tigers played If You Know, You Know, and they won that game 7-0. So that's really cool to watch that game. A rival going on there. Well, traditionally anyway. But 7-0, that was the score for that game. AOA played the Rebels this past week, and they actually won that game 13-6. Now that was considered an upset. Most people would have thought, after the Rebels' performance at Brawl for It All, they performed extremely well against Lady Elite, extremely well against Black Mambas, and those games were a matter of coaching decisions. So with Rebels, it's gonna be the coaches this year, because they have all the pieces. They have all the pieces over there. So it's gonna be interesting. But 13-6, congratulations to AOA. Bama Fire, they will be here this week. You know, they play every other week, and they'll play usually 4 games within a week because they travel from so far. And these are the standings for week 1. If you know, you know, we'll know exactly where they stand next week. They're gonna have a tough schedule. They have to play both Bama Fire and APOC. So that's really gonna let them know like what they need to work on, where they're gonna go from there. And yeah, all the standings. So we're gonna see how everybody falls next week. All right, so what teams are missing from the league? What teams are traditionally here and you don't see them on the roster this semester, I guess. So 1, MTV Wolfpack from Alabama. I'm not sure why they're not on the list. I don't know. But for all these teams, I'm going to try to get to the bottom of it, and I'll come back and share with you guys. Number 2, Code Red. Code Red not being on the list this season is a very big surprise, because Code Red has been on the list for like since the beginning of time for women's flag football in Atlanta. So this is the first year we haven't seen them, and I am very curious to know why. Arsenal. Arsenal is a team that no matter what, they still seem to come out with a strong team every year, but they're not on the list this year. And then lastly, X Factor. X Factor was kind of new, but they were getting in rhythm, and they were showing up quite a bit season after season, spring and fall. But this fall, they're not on there at all. So like I said, I'll try to get to the bottom of all of these. Yeah, I will. Congratulations to the X League champions. The X League took place this past weekend in Austin, Texas. It was the Atlanta Empire versus Chicago Blitz. Congratulations to both teams for making it to the X Cup. It is not easy at all, but Chicago Blitz overall took it, so congratulations to them. And then lastly, Lynn Lewis, the all women's tournament is coming up next month. This year is in DC for the first time ever. Big announcement that was made for Lynn Lewis this year for the first time ever is Team USA, which I've been pushing and telling y'all and all this good stuff. Team USA is recruiting from Lynn Lewis this year. So it's very exciting. Make sure you're ready to hit the field and show out next month. You have to play 5 women. I will say it again because they said it repeatedly. I complain, like, how come you guys aren't recruiting? These girls are so dope. And the criteria is you must play 5 women. So I hope that you guys will get on a 5-women team. If you're not, I hope that you will register to be scouted. You have to register to be scouted. Yes, you have to register so they know that you're interested, so they know to come and watch your games. Register to be scouted. I wish you guys so much luck, and I hope that some good people make Team USA. I will try to get some more details on exactly what the coach is looking for, and then I'm going to give him my feedback on like my top 5 people, maybe top 7 that he needs to be looking at. So, all right, I'm your girl, Shauna XO. This is XO Live. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure you do it. Shauna XO Live.